Hey, what's up guys? Sean here with Think Media, and we recently did a YouTuber meetup here in Las Vegas. It was super cool. Daryl Eves and I put it on, and lots of YouTubers just came out from the area sharing tips, networking, and I was sharing a few tips during that session. I want to share that portion of that talk with you in this video. So let's cut over to that right now, and then I'll see you after the training. But who has a YouTube channel? Raise your hand high. You have a YouTube channel. That's right. That makes sense. It's a YouTube meetup, so that makes sense. But awesome. So, if I was to think, we're about to go into 2018, and if I was to think about what are some things that can maybe add value to everybody before Q&A, I just kind of put down three things that I think are really important. And the first one is a quote from Sally Hogstead, who wrote a book called Fascinate, and it said this. She said, "Different is better than better." That's point number one. Different is better than better. And so when I think about YouTube, and I'm sure you all want to get the views and you want to get the subscribers and you want to stand out and you want to get noticed. And when I think about, okay, well, how do you do that in 2017, 2018? I think you really want to find out a way to be different. I think about vloggers. Who here has seen like Casey Neistat before? Raise your hand. None of us. I don't want to dash anybody's dreams. In fact, Darren and I are all about go for your dreams. But no one's going to outdo Casey in editing and filming. Maybe you will. I mean, maybe if you really work at it, right? But he really has a corner on the market in that certain style. So the goal is not to be the next Casey Neistat. The goal is not to be the next Daryl Eves or your favorite YouTuber. The goal is to be the next you in your unique way, in your unique style, and finding out a unique positioning. What does that mean? You can't start a tech channel? Well, of course you can start a tech channel. We're about to go to CES in January. Every year we do CES, our team does it. It's one of the largest tech shows. And when I go there and I look at, we think about how many drone companies are there, or how many camera companies are there, and people say the tech space is so crowded. And I think, yeah, it kind of is, but there are 35 drone companies, and the only people know about is DJI and maybe two other brands. But all these brands are trying to get noticed. They're trying to send people free product. They're trying to get people to do videos and sponsorship videos. So the key though is how can you be different and put a different spin on your channel? So rather than just being tech, well, what's the next layer down? And sometimes we talk about double or triple niching. And if you have a niche where you're like, I'm a tech YouTuber, that's still kind of broad. But let's say you were a tech YouTuber for just home security. Well, that's even more specific, and that's better, like home or smart home. But then you could go even more and say, I don't know, the next level down. So if you want to do personal development, that's pretty broad. But you could go personal development tips for young millennial women who are in college. Now we're getting somewhere, right? You're getting a little more specific. So the first thought really is ask yourself, how can you really figure out how to be different and not try to compete with somebody else that is already doing their thing? The second quick tip is YouTube, for sure, is a marathon, not a sprint. And we're all living in the social media age, the microwave generation, right? And we want everything like tomorrow. And we see these ads and Facebook ads and YouTube ads. And of course, all those people promise instant results, overnight results. And maybe there are some things where a new platform blows up. We hear some story about this really fast success. But if you've been doing this for very long, you just know that's not even how the world works, right? Greatness takes time. And greatness takes patience. And so when I think about YouTube, I just kind of want to relate with you guys because I've been at every journey. I've had a full-time job, and I've done side projects to pay the bills. And then I've crushed rock stars and Red Bulls to start editing at 10:30 at night or 11:30 at night for a few hours to only get a few hours of sleep, and then do that again to just try to get one video every couple of weeks done because that is all I could do. YouTube is seasonal, and whatever season you are in right now, I just want to encourage you, it's a marathon, right? Just be patient, keep doing the work, and it can be frustrating. It's really hard because you're like, man, I got work demands. Maybe I have kids, you have families. But a marathon, you go into it with a different mentality. You're not trying to sprint to burn yourself out, trying to just get results in the next 2 weeks. You're thinking about the next 2 years. You're thinking about the next 6 years. You're thinking about the next decade. And a lot of people don't think that way. So if you do, you'll really make better decisions and you'll have different strategies for the long haul. YouTube is a marathon, not a sprint. High five the person next to you and tell them that. Say that to them. YouTube's a marathon, it's not a sprint, bro. But just kind of number 3, and it's not really profound, but it's just do the work. At the end of the day, like, this takes so much work. In fact, I was just telling Heather a story today about someone who started to kind of get into YouTube and was so pumped. And then once they will watch some of our videos, they text me back and they're like, you know, I don't want to do this. I realized like this would actually take work. Like what I realized was like I would have to actually upload like videos. So if I had to upload a video though, I'd have to actually shoot it. And so I'd probably have to actually take a shower first. And then I'd have to like get dressed, and then I'd have to like plan it, and then I'd have to actually shoot it, but then someone's got to edit it, and then I would have to actually upload that and tag it, and then I'd have to do a thumbnail, and then I'd have to actually release it, but then after it's out, I'd have to promote it on social, and I need to do that all week long, and then I need to do that every single day. Right? So and you know that's why I'm preaching to the choir here, like just to really, YouTube takes so much work, and a commitment to the work is actually where there's so much opportunity, I believe, in YouTube. This is such an amazing space, but there's a lot of people who are willing to work really hard. And so I just want to encourage you and maybe refuel your tank a little bit to just be committed to just the grind. It's the discipline. And like to really be in love with that, because if you don't enjoy that process, then you'll burn out really quick. You probably already know that, because you got to, shooting, editing, videos, it's all really cool. But then the other thing for the last point here on number 3, do the work, is also just be committed to continue to work on yourself. We just had a great conversation with Eddie over here, and sometimes people say, Sean, like you appear confident on camera. And I'm like, well, I am pretty confident on camera at this point. They're like, oh, that must have came natural. And maybe there was some DNA and something, but I'm like, no, you don't understand. I was actually shooting and editing videos for my youth group in church in 2003. How long ago? I'm trying to do the math. 15 years ago. 15 years ago, I would sit down, I would do weekly video announcements for my church. YouTube didn't even exist yet. Like social media had not started, but I was doing the daily discipline of uploading videos. So people say you appear confident. I'm like, bro, sis, you'd be more confident than me if you've been doing this as long as me. If you've shot as many videos as me, you'd be so much better. Like I've been doing this for so long, and that whole first era, they're like, people say, I'm worried my first video is gonna be bad. Your first video is gonna be bad. And guess what? So's your 50th. Like if I go back to, so's like even today I'll put out stuff and I'm like, man, that wasn't that great, man. There's kind of sketchy. Like it's just such a process. And so just a commitment to not just do the work, but to continue to work on yourself. And to think about the skills that go into this industry, work on your communication. Work on your mastery of your subject. Work on your content. Work on just all the different aspects. Work on studying, thumbnails. People say, I don't know how to design a thumbnail. Learn. You have YouTube, you have Google. Go study it and then learn it, and that's why the patience helps, because over time, you'd be surprised what you can learn over the next couple years, but probably not in the next few days, right? So anyways, different is better than better. YouTube is a marathon, not a sprint, so be patient, be in it for the long haul, and then just a commitment to do the work, man. I appreciate you and respect every single one of you. Number one, just for being here, it's super cool to just be a part of the community, but just for number 2, that you would be passionate enough to go for your dreams, to do something different. This is what I know. Your neighbors, a lot of your neighbors, they're not hustling like you. Because they have full-time jobs too and families, but then when they get off work, they just want to watch Netflix. Nothing wrong with that. But when you do this on the side and it's your side hustle, respect. You are going for something, you're putting in the time, you could be doing something else. And so just thank you for really inspiring me to commit to putting out content, uploading videos. Really appreciate you. And that's all I have.
All right, so I hope that you found some of those tips helpful. And actually, if you're in Las Vegas or Southern Utah, we're gonna be doing future meetups. And so if you want some details about those, we're starting a private Facebook group just so we can communicate. Links are in the description below. Question of the day, which one of those tips stood out to you the most? And what's one of your goals for 2018 when it comes to YouTube? Is it amount of videos you're posting per week? Is it a subscriber goal? Let me know in the comment section. And until next time, keep crushing it, and we will talk soon.